Hi everyone, I'm excited to share my journey of learning English with you. My name is Williamson, and I live in a small town. I always wanted to learn English because I knew it would open many doors for me, allowing me to talk to people from different countries and travel the world. So I set a goal for myself, to learn basic English in 3 months. Living in a small town, I didn't have many opportunities to interact with English speakers. Most of the people around me spoke our local language, and there were very few chances to practice English in everyday conversations. However, I was determined. I knew that learning English could change my life. I could read books and articles from around the world, watch movies and TV shows without subtitles, and even travel to English-speaking countries and communicate with the locals. The first step in my journey was to understand why I wanted to learn English. I thought about all the benefits it would bring. English is the most widely spoken language in the world, and being able to speak it would allow me to connect with a vast number of people. I could make new friends, expand my professional network, and even open up new career opportunities. Knowing English would also enable me to access a wealth of information that is not available in my native language. With these motivations in mind, I set a specific goal: to learn basic English in 3 months. I knew it wouldn't be easy, but I was ready to put in the effort. I started by setting a clear and achievable goal. I defined what basic English meant to me. It included being able to hold simple conversations, understand everyday vocabulary, read basic texts, and write short sentences. Once I had my goal, I created a plan. I knew that consistency and dedication would be key to my success. I decided to dedicate at least 2 hours every day to learning English. I broke down my goal into smaller, manageable tasks. Each week, I would focus on different aspects of the language: vocabulary, grammar, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. To make my learning process more effective, I sought out various resources. I researched online and found a wealth of materials that could help me. There were websites with free English lessons, YouTube channels with educational videos, mobile apps for language practice, and online courses that offered structured learning paths. I also looked for books that were suitable for beginners. I chose books with simple language and clear explanations to help me understand the basics. I realized that to stay motivated, I needed to make my learning process enjoyable. I incorporated activities that I found interesting and fun. For example, I loved listening to music, so I started listening to English songs. I paid attention to the lyrics and tried to understand their meaning. I also enjoyed watching movies, so I started watching English movies with subtitles. This helped me improve my listening skills and learn new words and phrases. One of the most important aspects of learning a language is practice. I knew that I needed to practice speaking English regularly to become fluent. I didn't have many opportunities to speak English in my town, so I looked for language exchange partners online. I found a language exchange website where I could connect with native English speakers who wanted to learn my language. We set up regular video calls and practiced speaking each other's languages. This was a great way to improve my speaking skills and gain confidence. In addition to practicing with language partners, I joined an English language group in my town. The group met once a week, and we practiced speaking English together. It was a supportive environment where we could make mistakes and learn from them. We played language games, had discussions on various topics, and even went on outings where we practiced speaking English in real-life situations. Throughout my journey, I faced many challenges. There were times when I felt frustrated and discouraged. Learning a new language is not easy, and there were days when I struggled to understand certain concepts or remember new words. However, I reminded myself of my goal and the reasons why I wanted to learn English. I stayed motivated by celebrating my small achievements and progress. Every time I learned a new word or could understand a sentence without translation, I felt a sense of accomplishment. To keep track of my progress, I kept a learning journal. I wrote down the new words and phrases I learned each day, the topics I studied, and the activities I did. This helped me see how far I had come and identify areas where I needed more practice. I also set short-term goals each week and reviewed them at the end of the week. This helped me stay focused and motivated. As the weeks went by, I started to see significant improvements. I could understand basic conversations, read simple texts, and write short sentences. I felt more confident when speaking English, and I could communicate with my language partners more effectively. I also noticed that I was thinking in English more often, which made it easier to speak and write without translating from my native language. After 3 months, I looked back at my journey with pride. I had achieved my goal of learning basic English. I could hold simple conversations, understand everyday vocabulary, read basic texts, and write short sentences. I had overcome many challenges and learned a lot along the way. I felt a sense of accomplishment and was excited to continue improving my English skills. My journey of learning English taught me the importance of setting clear goals, staying motivated, and practicing regularly. It showed me that with dedication and effort, I could achieve my goals. I hope that by sharing my story, I can inspire others to start their own journeys of learning English. Remember, if I can do it, you can do it too. Just practice every day, stay motivated, and never give up. You can achieve your goals and open up new opportunities for yourself. First, I started by finding the right resources. I knew that having the best tools would be crucial for my success. So I spent some time researching and selecting the ones that would suit my needs. For reading, I picked simple English books and articles. I chose materials that were written in easy-to-understand language and covered a variety of topics. This way, I could learn new vocabulary and practice reading different kinds of texts. I found some beginner-level novels, children's books, and news articles aimed at English learners. These resources were perfect because they matched my skill level and kept me engaged. When it came to listening, I knew that immersing myself in the language would help me improve my comprehension and pronunciation. I started by choosing songs in English. Music has always been a big part of my life, so listening to English songs made learning fun and enjoyable. I paid attention to the lyrics, trying to understand the words and phrases. I even sang along to improve my pronunciation. I also discovered that podcasts were a fantastic resource. There are many podcasts designed specifically for English learners, featuring slow and clear speech and covering interesting topics. Listening to these podcasts helped me get used to the rhythm and flow of the language. Additionally, I watched videos on YouTube. There are countless educational channels that offer lessons on English grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. Watching these videos provided visual and auditory learning, making it easier to grasp new concepts. For speaking and writing, I found several apps that were incredibly useful. Apps like Duolingo, HelloTalk, and Tandem allowed me to practice speaking and writing with native speakers and other learners. Duolingo offered structured lessons that helped me build my vocabulary and practice grammar through interactive exercises. HelloTalk and Tandem connected me with language partners from around the world. I could chat with them in English, which helped me practice real-life conversations and improve my writing skills. These tools were exactly what I needed to learn all the skills necessary to become proficient in English. Having a variety of resources allowed me to practice different aspects of the language and kept my learning process interesting and diverse. I felt confident that with these tools, I could achieve my goal of learning basic English in 3 months. In addition to these resources, I also utilized flashcards to help memorize new vocabulary. Apps like Anki and Quizlet were perfect for this. They allowed me to create digital flashcards that I could review anytime, anywhere. The spaced repetition system used by these apps ensured that I reviewed the words just as I was about to forget them, making my memorization process more effective. Furthermore, I joined online forums and social media groups dedicated to English learners. Platforms like Reddit and Facebook have communities where learners can ask questions, share resources, and support each other. Being part of these communities provided me with additional motivation and a sense of belonging. I could see that many people around the world were also on the same journey as I was, and we could help each other along the way. Lastly, I didn't limit myself to just online resources. I visited my local library and borrowed English books and audiobooks. The library also had language learning sections with various resources, including workbooks and CDs for listening practice. Utilizing both online and offline resources gave me a comprehensive approach to learning English. By carefully selecting and using these resources, I felt well prepared and excited to continue my journey. I knew that with dedication and the right tools, I would be able to reach my goal and open up new opportunities for myself. Next, I created a daily routine. I knew that consistency was key to mastering a new language, so I planned my schedule to include different activities every day. This variety kept my learning process engaging and ensured that I was practicing all the essential skills: reading, listening, writing, and speaking. In the morning, I dedicated time to reading English books and articles. This quiet time allowed me to focus fully on understanding the text. I chose materials that were slightly challenging but still within my grasp, ensuring I was constantly learning new vocabulary and sentence structures. I kept a notebook by my side to jot down any new words or phrases I encountered. This habit not only improved my reading skills but also expanded my vocabulary significantly. In the afternoon, I shifted my focus to listening. I listened to English songs and watched videos. Songs were a fun way to get used to the rhythm and melody of the language. I chose songs with clear lyrics and tried to understand the meaning behind them. Sometimes I would look up the lyrics online and sing along, which helped with both my listening and pronunciation. Watching videos, especially educational ones on YouTube, provided a more structured form of learning. These videos often included explanations of grammar rules, pronunciation tips, and vocabulary lessons, making them an excellent supplement to my reading practice. Evenings were dedicated to writing and speaking. I started by writing down new words and sentences in my notebook. This practice reinforced what I had learned throughout the day. I wrote simple sentences using the new vocabulary and gradually moved on to more complex ones. Writing helped me internalize the language rules and improved my ability to express myself in English. One of the most important parts of my routine was practicing speaking English with my friend Anna. We set up regular video calls where we spoke only in English. At first, it was challenging, and I often stumbled over my words. But with each conversation, I became more confident and fluent. Anna was very patient and encouraging, which made the process less intimidating. Speaking regularly with a friend who was also learning helped us both improve and stay motivated. To stay on track, I set short-term and long-term goals. Short-term goals included learning 10 new words a day or completing a chapter in my English book. These goals were achievable and gave me a sense of accomplishment, keeping me motivated. Long-term goals, like having a conversation in English by the end of the month, provided a clear target to aim for. These goals helped me measure my progress and stay focused on my ultimate objective. Additionally, I incorporated review sessions into my routine. Every week, I spent some time revisiting the material I had learned. This review process reinforced my knowledge and helped me retain information better. I also used flashcards for quick revision of vocabulary, which was particularly effective. Creating and sticking to this daily routine made a significant difference in my learning journey. It provided structure and consistency, ensuring that I practiced all aspects of the language regularly. By breaking down my goal into manageable daily tasks, I made steady progress without feeling overwhelmed. This approach not only improved my English skills, but also instilled a sense of discipline and commitment. Through this routine, I learned the importance of balance and variety in language learning. Each activity complemented the others, creating a comprehensive learning experience. Reading improved my comprehension and vocabulary. Listening enhanced my pronunciation and understanding of spoken English. Writing helped me internalize language rules, and speaking built my confidence and fluency. Together, these activities formed a holistic approach to learning English. By the end of the month, I could see noticeable improvements in my skills. I was able to read more complex texts, understand spoken English better, write coherent sentences, and hold basic conversations. My confidence grew, and I felt more comfortable using English in various situations. This progress motivated me to continue my routine and aim for higher proficiency levels. Creating a daily routine was a crucial step in my journey to learning English. It provided structure, consistency, and a clear path to follow. With dedication and the right plan, I was able to make steady progress and achieve my goals. If you're learning English, I highly recommend setting up a routine that incorporates different activities and setting achievable goals to keep yourself motivated. Every day, I immersed myself in English. Immersion was key to accelerating my learning process, so I made sure to incorporate the language into every aspect of my daily routine. I started with reading simple books and articles. This was one of the most effective ways to build my vocabulary and understand basic sentence structures. I chose materials that were interesting and relevant to my interests. For example, I read children's books, which used simple language and had clear illustrations to help with understanding. I also read short articles from websites aimed at English learners. These articles covered a variety of topics and introduced me to new words and phrases. I made it a habit to read every morning, dedicating at least 30 minutes to this activity. As I read, I highlighted unfamiliar words and wrote them down in my notebook, looking up their meanings later. Listening to English songs and podcasts became another daily activity. Music has always been a passion of mine, so I enjoyed this method of learning. I selected songs with clear lyrics and listened to them repeatedly, trying to understand and memorize the words. Singing along helped me improve my pronunciation and get a feel for the rhythm of the language. Podcasts, on the other hand, provided more structured listening practice. I subscribed to several podcasts designed for English learners, where the hosts spoke slowly and clearly. They often discussed everyday topics, which made it easier for me to follow along and learn useful vocabulary. Listening to podcasts also helped me get accustomed to different accents and speaking styles. Writing was another crucial part of my daily practice. Every evening, I wrote down new words I had learned throughout the day and made sentences with them. This exercise reinforced my memory and helped me understand how to use the words in context. I started with simple sentences and gradually moved on to more complex ones as my confidence grew. Writing regularly improved my ability to express myself in English and helped me internalize grammar rules. I also kept a journal where I wrote about my day, my thoughts, and my progress in learning English. This practice not only enhanced my writing skills, but also provided a way to track my development over time. Speaking was perhaps the most challenging aspect for me initially. I felt self-conscious about my pronunciation and worried about making mistakes. However, I knew that practice was essential to becoming fluent, so I made it a point to speak English every day. My friend Anna was a great support in this regard. We set up regular video calls where we practiced speaking English together. At first, our conversations were simple and often filled with pauses as I searched for the right words. But Anna was patient and encouraging, which made me feel more comfortable. Over time, I became more fluent and confident in my speaking abilities. Our practice sessions included discussing various topics, role-playing different scenarios, and even playing language games. These activities made speaking practice enjoyable and less intimidating. In addition to these core activities, I also incorporated other practical methods to immerse myself in English. For example, I changed the language settings on my phone and computer to English. This way, I encountered the language throughout the day, even during routine tasks. I also labeled objects around my house with their English names, which helped me learn everyday vocabulary effortlessly. Watching English movies and TV shows with subtitles was another enjoyable way to practice listening and comprehension. I selected shows that were easy to follow and gradually moved on to more challenging ones as my skills improved. Practicing English in real-life situations was also crucial. Whenever I had the chance, I tried to use English outside of my study sessions. I spoke with tourists in my town, asked for directions in English, and even ordered food in English at restaurants that catered to international visitors. These interactions helped me apply what I had learned in a practical context and boosted my confidence. To keep myself motivated and engaged, I set specific short-term and long-term goals. Short-term goals included tasks like learning 10 new words a day or completing a chapter in my English book each week. These goals were manageable and gave me a sense of accomplishment as I achieved them. Long-term goals provided a broader target to aim for, such as being able to hold a conversation in English by the end of the month or reading a full book in English within 3 months. Setting these goals helped me stay focused and track my progress. In summary, immersing myself in English through practical activities was essential for my learning journey. Reading, listening, writing, and speaking every day allowed me to practice all the necessary skills and made the learning process dynamic and enjoyable. By consistently engaging with the language in various ways, I saw significant improvements in my abilities and felt more confident in using English in different contexts. Of course, there were many challenges along the way. Learning a new language is never easy, and there were times when I felt overwhelmed by the difficulties I encountered. Sometimes, I didn't understand the words or how to pronounce them correctly. English pronunciation can be tricky, and many words sound different from how they are spelled. I often found myself struggling with the pronunciation of certain words, which made me feel frustrated. To tackle this, I started using online dictionaries with audio pronunciations. Hearing the correct pronunciation helped me practice and improve. I also watched videos where native speakers demonstrated how to pronounce difficult words. Mimicking their mouth movements and practicing repeatedly helped me get better over time. There were also times when I felt tired and wanted to give up. Learning a language requires a lot of time and effort, and it can be exhausting to stay focused and motivated day after day. On some days, progress felt slow, and I doubted whether I would ever reach my goal. During these moments, I reminded myself why I started learning English in the first place. I thought about the opportunities it would bring and how it would enrich my life. Keeping my long-term goal in mind helped me push through the tough times. To stay motivated, I found it helpful to join an English group. In my small town, there was a local group of people who were also learning English. We met once a week to practice speaking, share resources, and support each other. Being part of this group provided a sense of community and belonging. We encouraged each other, celebrated our progress, and shared tips and strategies for overcoming challenges. The group meetings were always fun and uplifting, which kept my spirits high and motivated me to continue learning. Finding a language partner was another crucial step in overcoming challenges. I connected with Anna, a fellow learner, through an online language exchange platform. We decided to practice together every day. Having a language partner made a big difference. We held each other accountable and kept each other motivated. Practicing with Anna helped me improve my speaking and listening skills. We took turns speaking in English and providing feedback to each other. This regular practice helped me build confidence and improve my fluency. Anna and I also shared our experiences and challenges. Knowing that someone else was going through the same struggles made me feel less alone. We discussed the difficulties we faced and brainstormed solutions together. For example, when I struggled with pronunciation, Anna suggested we watch English videos and mimic the speakers. When Anna had trouble understanding grammar rules, I shared the resources and tips that had helped me. This mutual support and collaboration made our learning journey more manageable and enjoyable. In addition to the support from the group and my language partner, I used various strategies to overcome specific challenges. For vocabulary, I created flashcards and reviewed them regularly. I used spaced repetition apps like Anki to ensure that I reviewed words at optimal intervals, which helped me retain them better. For grammar, I found online exercises and quizzes that allowed me to practice and reinforce my understanding. Whenever I made a mistake, I took it as a learning opportunity and made a note of it to avoid repeating it in the future. When I felt particularly discouraged, I took a short break to recharge. I knew it was important to maintain a balance and not push myself too hard. During these breaks, I engaged in activities I enjoyed, like listening to music, going for a walk, or reading a book in my native language. These breaks helped me clear my mind and return to my studies with renewed energy and focus. Over time, I learned to embrace the challenges as part of the learning process. Each obstacle I overcame made me stronger and more resilient. I celebrated my small victories, like successfully pronouncing a difficult word or understanding a complex sentence. These achievements, no matter how small, boosted my confidence and motivated me to keep going. Through perseverance and support, I managed to overcome the challenges I faced in learning English. The journey was not easy, but it was incredibly rewarding. By staying motivated, seeking support, and using effective strategies, I was able to make steady progress and achieve my goal. Remember, every challenge is an opportunity to learn and grow. If you stay committed and keep pushing forward, you can overcome any obstacle and reach your goals. I tracked my progress by noting improvements in my reading, listening, writing, and speaking skills. Keeping a record of my achievements helped me stay motivated and see how far I had come. I celebrated small milestones along the way. For example, finishing a book or understanding a new podcast episode was a significant achievement. I would mark these milestones in my journal and take a moment to appreciate my hard work. These celebrations kept me motivated and reminded me that I was making real progress. One of the most rewarding moments was using English in real-life situations. I took every opportunity to practice my skills outside of my study sessions. For instance, I spoke with tourists who visited my town. It was amazing to realize that they understood me and I could understand them in return. These interactions were proof that my hard work was paying off. They boosted my confidence and made me feel that learning English was truly worthwhile. Tracking my progress also involved revisiting my goals. I reviewed the targets I had set for myself, such as learning 10 new words a day or holding a conversation in English. Seeing how I met these goals or made progress towards them provided a sense of accomplishment. It was gratifying to reflect on how much I had improved in such a short time. I also kept a progress log where I recorded the new words I learned, the books I read, the podcasts I listened to, and the conversations I had. This log helped me see patterns in my learning and identify areas where I needed more practice. By looking back at my entries, I could clearly see my growth and areas where I had made significant strides. After 3 months, I took some time to look back on my journey. I was so proud of myself for reaching my goal. Reflecting on the effort and dedication I had put into learning English, I thought, I did it. I learned English. It was an amazing feeling to realize that I had achieved something that once seemed so daunting. I shared my experience with my friends and encouraged them to learn English too. I wanted them to see that it was possible to learn a new language with dedication and hard work. I told them, if I can do it, you can do it too. Just practice every day and never give up. Sharing my story was not only a way to inspire them, but also a way to reinforce my own achievements. My journey was a testament to the power of persistence and practice. I had faced challenges and doubts, but I overcame them through consistent effort and support. Looking back, I was grateful for the resources, routine, and support system that helped me succeed. I felt a sense of fulfillment and excitement about the new opportunities that speaking English would open up for me. So, if you want to learn English, remember my story. Practice every day, stay motivated, and never give up. Learning a new language is challenging, but it's also incredibly rewarding. Each step, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. Keep pushing forward, embrace the challenges, and celebrate your progress. With dedication and persistence, you'll achieve your goals and open up new possibilities for yourself. You can do it.